Hey babes! Welcome to the Happiness Heals channel. My name is Miss T. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Today we're doing a budget with me as I prepare my estimated payday budget for my upcoming paycheck on June 26, 2020. I'm going to be using my June budget calendar, and then I will fill in all of my other categories as well. I'm going to start off by filling in my paycheck date, which will be June 26, 2020. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I like to make a couple of disclaimers at the beginning of this video just so you know my method is a little bit unique from the budget moms. I do follow the budget by paycheck method. However, I create an estimated budget a week before my payday, which I include in the budget column, and then I come back on my actual payday and create an actual budget, which is based on real-time information, any adjustments that I may be aware of since creating that estimated budget, and so that I can finalize where every dollar in my paycheck goes in real time, knowing that there may have been things that have changed throughout the week. So in today's video, I will be putting my estimated budget in the budget column. And then I'll create a payday budget where I also do my cash envelope stuffing, and that will be in my actual column, and I'll fill out the cash denomination breakdown sheet on my payday as well. Let's get started with the estimated budget for today. So I'm going to start off with my paycheck, and I normally use the amount that I received in my last paycheck, which was $2,914.62. And then I always have an additional amount that goes into my savings of $50. It's automatically deposited. And then I also have my pension that I receive at the beginning of the month, and that is $42.67. And then rollover funds. So for my estimated budget, I normally assume that I don't have any rollover funds that I will be using every dollar in my paycheck. However, if I get to payday and I still have some funds left over, or funds that I need to pull from my sinking funds in order to take care of expenses within that payday, then I include those in my rollover funds in the actual column. For my estimated budget for this pay period, my total is $2,914.62 plus 50 plus 42.67 equals $3,007.29. For bills, I have my Wells Fargo, which is my car note, and that is due on the 26th, and it is $405.25. And then I just recently canceled our Grammarly subscription because we have not been using it, so that will not come out this pay period. I'm going to not include that with this month's pay. And let's see what else I have for July. So for July, I have quite a few expenses in the first few days of July because I don't get my first paycheck in that month until the 10th. So I have Metro PCS, which is my daughter's cell phone, and that is due on 7/2 for $50. I have Credit One. That's my credit card, and I don't expect to have any expenses for that, but I'm going to estimate for my normal minimal payment just in case I have any interest or excessive fees or anything like that that comes from that credit card. Hopefully it will be zero when I put together my payday budget. I think that covers all of my bills for that pay period, which is actually quite minimal. After checking my bills, I see that I do have a couple of others that I want to include here. I'm not exactly sure if I'll need to pay those this pay period, but by the time I actually get to payday, I'll have firm answers about whether I still owe. My daughter has a medical copay bill, and that is due, let's say July 7th for $70. We also have another medical bill to pay, and that is July 5th, and that is for $40. So I think that is all of my estimated bills for this coming pay period. If I receive any more, then I will include them when I put together my actual budget on my payday. So let me add up what my estimated bills will be. $590.25. So my bill total is $590.25, and then I'm going to find out my leftover amount. So I subtract my bill total from my income. The difference is $2,417.04. I'm going to jump over to sinking funds, extra debt, and extra savings. So this is an area where I'm a little bit different from the budget mom in that I save my variable expenses, or as she uses, cash envelopes, until the end. I'm going to figure out what I want to allocate towards my sinking funds, extra debt, and extra savings, and then I'll figure out the balance that I have left in order to put towards my variable expenses. So jumping over to sinking funds, I have Christmas 2020, and I'm putting $130 towards that. Memberships, and that is $25. And I also have car insurance, and that is $193. And then I have pet expenses, and that is $40. For now, those are going to be all of the sinking funds that I use for the moment, because I'm trying to set aside a significant amount in my savings for a payment that I have coming up in July. So I've scaled back on my sinking funds in order to allocate priority to getting that payment made. I'm going to add up what my total is here. It's $388. Then I jump down to extra debt. And for extra debt this pay period, I want to allocate an additional $100 towards my car note. My credit card should be paid off, so I shouldn't have to have any additional funds towards that. Let me just check and see if there are any other debts that I need to prioritize in this pay period. So I think that is the only extra debt that I'm going to put money towards, so that gives me a total of $100 here. And I also have my extra savings, which I always put some towards my checking cushion, my emergency fund, my savings cushion, and my June savings challenge. For this pay period, I am going to set aside $50 for my checking cushion, and then my emergency fund, I want to actually set aside $500 for that, and then my savings cushion, I want to set aside $100 for that, and then June savings challenge, I'm going to estimate to be $50. My total in terms of savings would be $700 for this pay period is estimated. So now let me subtract my sinking funds total, extra debt, and extra savings from what I have left over to find out how much I have for variable expenses. Wow, I still have a whole lot left, way more than I think I need. I'm going to figure out what my variable expense total will be, and then I'll back more of that into my emergency fund. I really am trying to stock that up because, like I said, I have a very large payment that I need to make by the 15th of July, a settlement payment, and so I'm trying to save up as much money as I can to get that taken care of and squared away. I'm going to fill in my variable expenses, groceries, dining out. I have noticed I've been spending a little more for recreational, I guess because it's the summertime, so I'm going to start budgeting for that again. Medical, I definitely need. Gas and car wash. We always have some form of charity. Shopping, I have been setting aside a little bit extra each payday for shopping because we tend to do a lot more Amazon or online shopping while we're home, and I don't like tapping into my savings or other accounts for that. So I just try to set aside a little reserve. Whatever we don't spend goes into my checking buffer. Miscellaneous obviously is there at the end. So I think that is all of the expenses that I'll need to cover in terms of variable expenses for this pay period. So let's see. I do want to do a major grocery haul from Costco, BJ's, so I'll allocate $200 for that. Dining out, we'll keep at $160. Recreational, we will put at $120. Medical, let's go with $100 for medical to be on the safe side. For gas, car wash, I have been allocating $40, and that's been working out well. For charity, I actually want to bump that to $50. For shopping, and actually I'm thinking I might bump dining out to $200 just because we have some important things coming up. We might want to do a little bit more more celebrating with that. I'll estimate that for now. By my pay period, I'll think about it and decide whether I really want to be encouraging us to eat out more or not. Shopping, we'll say 150. So I do have a couple things that I also remember at Costco that I need to get. So let's say 150. And then miscellaneous, we'll cover that with the rest to make it an even 1,000. So that will be 140. That's an envelope total of 1,000 for variable expenses. And if that's the case, then I can bump up my emergency funds even more. 726. This is why I have started using erasable pens and I forgot to pull them out today. You know what? I'll do a cross out. I normally don't like doing that, but I'll do it today just because I don't have whiteout nearby either, which then increases my savings total as well, equals 926. Okay, let me just run through that really quickly because I did make some last minute adjustments. So normally once I figure out my bill total and what's left over, I jump over to sinking funds, extra debt, and extra savings. You saw me walk through each of those categories and I came up with estimated amount. However, I had a significant amount of money left over after subtracting each of these categories from my leftover amount. I knew that I was not going to be able to spend all of that on my variable expenses. Our needs are just not that much right now. So the total difference initially was $1,226. However, when I budgeted out what I think our needs are, and these are actually more on the high end just to make sure that we have enough to cover it, my total comes up to $1,000. So I still had a difference of $226 that I needed to account for in order for my budget to balance out. And as I mentioned, I'm trying to roll over as much as I can into my emergency fund right now. So that gave me another $226 to allocate towards emergency fund. My emergency fund balance went from $500 to $726 with the additional $226. And when I add the $226 to my total for extra savings, changed my savings total from $700 to $926. Okay, so for clarity and to just make things a little bit easier to understand and to see, I went ahead and rewrote out my estimated budget for the upcoming pay period. I didn't want to confuse anyone with all the crossing out and changing numbers and everything else from my prior draft. I've rewritten everything to make it a little more clear. As I mentioned before, after adding up my variable expenses, I only needed $1,000 essentially to take care of all of our expenses for this pay period. I took any extra money and put that in my emergency fund so that I can continue to build up that fund as quickly as possible. And so I ended up adding $729 estimated to my emergency fund. All of my balances have changed based on those adjustments. I'm going to go up here, write in my paycheck date again, and then we're going to zero out my budget. So starting with my income total, $3,007.29 minus my bill total, $590.25, leaves me with $2,417.04. I'm going to bring that down to the leftover row in variable expenses, $2,417.04. And then I'm going to subtract my variable expense total minus $1,004, which leaves me with $1,417 even. I'm going to bring that leftover amount over to my sinking fund leftover row, $1,417, and subtract out my sinking funds total, $388, which leaves me with $1,029. I'm going to take that $1,029 and bring it down to the leftover row in extra debt, $1,029 minus 100, which is my total for extra debt, which leaves me with $929. I'm going to bring that amount down to the leftover row in extra savings, $929, and subtract out my savings total, which is $929, which leaves me with $0. So I have budgeted every dollar in my paycheck and my budget is balanced. So that is the estimated budget that I have for my upcoming payday. I'm going to come back on my actual pay date and create my actual budget. Any changes, adjustments, additional bills, or expenses that I need to account for, I will include in that final budget, as well as preparing my cash envelope stuffing after I get my money from the bank. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it's inspired you to sit down and work through your budget. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you're informed the very next time we have something to share on the Happiness Heals channel. Ciao!